warning if you're listening to earbuds. So I'm about to open a can. Right, sorry about that. I forgot to do that before I started recording. My name is Kay and I am StitchyFifer here on YouTube and over on Instagram. A very warm welcome to you if this is your first time visiting my channel. I hope you find something you like, and if you do, please click on the like and subscribe buttons and select all in the notification drop down so you're advised whenever I upload new content or go live. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back and spending some more time with me today. I'm just going to play about and get my come on, show my live stream, thank you. Are we not going to play? We're not playing ball today. I don't know what's going on. Right, you're going to do it this time. There we go. Right, open that. Excuse me. That chat. Got a little bit of a frog in my throat today. Right, that's the chat open. I can see when people are chatting with me, and let's get stitching. I am still working on an abundance of fruit. I'm still trying to get it to 70%. I just realised I also forgot to welcome returning viewers. Thank you. Your support. This is because your support is so appreciated. The reason I forgot is because I suddenly realised I didn't have my chat open. I had to go and do that, so lost my train of thought. But yeah, welcome back to my channel if you're a returning viewer. Your support is always appreciated. Yeah, we're still working on an abundance of fruit, which is a retired chart because it was only available as part of the 2026 HAED SAL. I'm still trying to get to 70%. I'm a wee bit closer. I'm at 66.71%. I'm kind of still struggling to get any decent stitch count. To me, decent stitch count is between 800 and 1,000. I'm lucky if I'm hitting, I think yesterday I did 500 and change. But what I mean, some people will be saying, "Oh, 500 is a good stitch count for the day." It is, apart from the fact that I had been sitting here for most of the day, and I should have got a lot more than what I did. That one there. One, there. But yeah, this might take form of a long form ASMR more than me talking. I don't know if you can hear my throat is a bit sore, a bit graspy today. I think it's the weather is a bit more sort of humid and muggy today. And I do suffer from allergies and things, so these things come to try us, I suppose. This, as I said, is an abundance of fruit with Zebra Nosin. It's chatted about Heaven and Earth Designs for their HAED SAL for 2026, and as far as I know, no one else has actually charted this one. But several companies have charted other artwork by him of his still lifes, I should say. Trying to think. I think Artisy had one, but I don't know if they still have it. They had one. I think Contemporary Cross Stitch had one. There was another company that deal mainly with you know, the old masters and things like that. They deal with those, with creating cross stitch designs for those. Can't remember the name of that company off the top of my head. It is in my. Oh, wait a minute. Forgot they like that. So I have got them in my. Let's see if I can find them. Let's see. Serenity Stitchworks, I think it was. Or maybe not them. No, go away. I don't want that pop up. No, it wasn't them. But they do, Serenity Stitchworks do different artists as well. All the old masters, like Gustav Klimt and stuff like that. No, they don't do Klimt. Wait a minute, I'll have to look at Case Nutches. Yep, Gustav Klimt, and they've got quite a few of the Van Gogh ones, I think, as well. And Van Eyck, and who else do I know? Who else do I know? Well, I'm not. Are you okay? There's some funny noises coming out of you this morning. You got a bit of an upset tummy. Charlie's got a bit of an upset tummy, so it's going to be a rather fragrant morning, I think. So that's them. Who else does sort of similar sort of stuff? Why have I got Old Forest embroidery in my list twice, honestly? One, two, three stitches, not there. Not that one. And I've got one that's marked still alive here. Is it Golden Kite? I've got quite a few, obviously. You can get them kitted up through Painfree Crafts, I believe. Yeah, they've got still alive. So let's see. I think they've got a couple of us. Where is it? I know they've definitely got one of his. I can't remember what it's called, but it's. Anyway, that's Golden Kite. I've got them definitely. Right. I'm getting away from subject at hand, and I think I've done 3 stitches. See, this is why I need to be doing live streaming, because otherwise I'm not getting anything done. I keep getting distracted. I'm working on 25 count easy count Lugana using CXC threads 1/1 full cross. That means that there's one strand of floss over one strand of fabric. 25 count is 25 stitches per inch. I can't remember what it works out to be in centimetres. If I work in centimetres, I think it's 9. For some reason 19 jumps into my brain, but that might be wrong. Yeah, you see it's gridded. It's gridded into 10 by 10 squares. So that it's the same as my pattern, is in 10 by 10 squares. It makes it a wee bit easier when it comes to working, especially when you feel like me and you part threads. 3, 4 down. 1, 2, 3, 4 down. There. And what I'll do, I'll trim these. This one I've done these last night. Charlie, stop that, please. Charlie's found a cardboard box. So that sound that you hear, that sort of rustling, is him cuddling the side of the cardboard box. Oh, I called you out on it, so now you're off. Okay. And Oscar is lying in the hall, being a good little boy, until he's not. Yeah. What? Is that right? Come on then. Come on. Up you come. Come right beside me. My lap's empty, Charlie. Come on. No? Okay. I think I maybe should have tightened this fabric up first. Oh well, I'll be fine for now. It's not loosey goosey, but I like my fabric drum tight, and it was kind of starting to loosen off. I think the humidity in the air sometimes plays part of it and make your fabric a bit looser. No. It's that one I want to do first. Hello, Oscar. My legs are covered in little bruises off of you, by the way. He's the smallest of the two cats, but he seems to be the one that heavier footed. Oh, Charlie, see, you get yourself right now. Ouch. This is thimble tape. Tape my fingers. I don't like the way it feels when I put a regular thimble on. I like to still have some sensation, so this is what I use instead of a thimble. Get them from, I think, Amazon do them, Temu, get quite cheap, and it's not self-adhesive, but it sticks to itself. I can't use like plasters and things very easily because they just don't stick to my skin. As soon as I start sweating, they just come right off. And if I could get plasters with that type of thing where it sticks to itself, then that would suit me better. Maybe it's a niche in the market. But yeah, it works exactly the same as a thimble. But there's a wee bit more flexibility, so I can still get some sort of feeling. I still get a little bit of loss sensation, but not as much as I do when I use like a silicone or a metal thimble. What's some? Take that before I forget as well. And where did my needle go? Oh, okay. Done it again. I keep losing needles. Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, come on. Is that your spot, is it? Hi Sue. It's not a lot really. I've got sections of this that I've got a lot more. This is quite a light to medium confetti, this area at the moment. Once I get past this and back down into the leaf, it's a wee bit more, I wouldn't say it's heavier, but it's going to take a wee bit more concentration, I think. Now, is there any others that are that colour before I cut it? Nope, right, so that's another. Well, how's the temperature in Turkey? Are you melting yet? Ours kind of, last night was a bit fresher, but it's getting humid again now. It's still going to be warm today, but I don't think it's going to be as sunny. So we might get some more thunder later. Hot, hot, hot. It's a different type of heat though, isn't it? You don't get the humidity over there that you get here. More dry heat. And we had two decent lots of thunder yesterday. One was like something like stupid, like 3 o'clock in the morning, when we were all asleep and couldn't enjoy it. And then there was one at the back at 9 o'clock yesterday, well, between 8 and 9 yesterday morning. And then there was a couple of rumbles later on in the day, but we never got the massive thunderstorm we were promised. At least not where I am. I know some parts of the UK got some pretty decent amounts of thunder and lightning. But there was a couple of torrential downpours yesterday, which watered all the gardens. See, I think we're supposed to get up. It's predicted for my part in the UK to get up to about 23, but it's to, like I said, it's to be cloudy, showery on and off. So don't know if we're going to maybe get a couple more rumbles of thunder later on, but anyway, it's like it doesn't know what it wants to do. I do apologise, I've got a bit of a frog in my throat this morning. We also have Where Charlie's Hairs. I could see it when I was stitching, it was starting to annoy me. Yeah. So it's going to be tinderbox dry, so yeah. Take care and don't get yourself too, don't get burnt or sunstroke or whatever, because that's not nice. It's not fun. Do you think I'm stitching on? Yeah, I just don't go out at all. So I get you there because I just don't go out at all. Unless I'm, I think the most I go outside is to go speak to my neighbour or put stuff in the bin, and that's the only time my nose goes past the front door. What was I saying? What do you think I'm stitching here? See, I don't even go to the shop for groceries, so I'm so lazy. I get mine delivered. It's not that. No, I'm not lazy. It's I just can't. I just can't be doing with all the people at the shop. It just stresses me out. So I get delivery from Tesco, but like a lot of my big stuff gets delivered from. I get it from Amazon, like some of my cat food. Um, you know, I get the wet cat food, the pouches. It's cheaper getting it from Amazon than it is getting it in Tesco. The only thing that I get for them that's food wise from Tesco is their dry food because they like the flavours that they have. And it's slightly cheaper that's slightly cheaper getting it from there than it is from Amazon, but not by much. But the wet food, getting it in bulk, I get 80 pouches, which lasts me just over the month. Or just under the month, sorry. But I've managed to get myself now that I've got like a spare box. So the it's cheaper doing Amazon than it is Tesco. It's a strawberry. It's a strawberry. Well, it'll be half a strawberry because the other half's in the next column. But yeah, half a strawberry. I don't think there's cherries in this actually. There's strawberries, lemons, grapes. I think so. The plums or peaches at the other side. I think that's it. I don't think there's quite there's another bunch of grapes in the middle. Right, so that's there. Yeah, right. 1, 2, 3 across, and 1, 2, 1, 2, 4. Yeah. I mean, there's fairly decent wee shop in the village for getting necessities like milk and stuff, but I don't even do that. I get 721. Where are you? 3721, where are you hiding? Not that one. I get UHT milk because I get 6 litres and it lasts me the month. So I drink it, I only use it for tea and coffee. And it lasts a wee bit better for me. If I was getting fresh milk, I'd be throwing out more than I'd be using, so it's not worth it. Hi there. I've forgotten your actual name. There's just like Stitch. I'm trying to remember who that is. I hate that they've changed the way that you show up on the live chat. That you show up with your handle as opposed to your screen. You know, your channel name or whatever. Oh, of course, it's Kay. See, so blame it on the heat. And how is my namesake doing? I hope you're well. I hope you're surviving the heat. I'm going to have to do myself a wee spreadsheet of everyone's screen name and what their actual name is so that I don't get them mixed up. I'm on really early today. I'm not normally on, if I do lives, I'm not normally on this early. But it's a Saturday. I'm not going anywhere. And I actually found that I really enjoyed doing the mega live streams that I was doing the other day. So yeah, I enjoyed it. So and I thought, well, if I'm live and I'm going to try and go live possibly all day. So you know, people can just pop in and out as they want during the day. You know, I'm not going anywhere, so not got anything planned for today. I mean, the only time I'll be going off is probably just to get up and stretch my legs, and I'll come straight back in again. What's it? But I found a little doodad on um the hub for the live streams, and you can set a be right back on your on your channel on your live stream, so it's not like you're having to stop and start a new stream. I thought, oh, I didn't know that was there, so that's handy. How are the pups enjoying the pup? Come up with only one, you've got two. How are they liking the enjoying the sun? I bet they're melting. Do you live on the coast, Kay? Or are you inland? I think you guys got some lovely. I think you guys got an absolute, let's just say in Scotland, an absolute starter of a thunderstorm. 44, where are you? Uh, okay, so I'll see you later. I'm not going anywhere, so I'll be here. Like I say, I'm not got anything planned for today, so. So do you still get the sort of like the breezes coming off the sea, or do you or are you too far inland for that? I'm where I stay. I'm on the coast, but I'm not. If you know what I mean. Um, I'm on the coast as in that I live. Our village is close to like the estuary of the Forth, but because we're not seaward side of Fife, we're not coastal. If you know what I mean. It's really weird. Difficult to explain it. Ah, see, Sue. I was sending you back to work too early. Crack that whip. It's coastal because it's still salt water, but it's not coastal because I'm almost centre of Scotland. I'm almost slap bang in the middle of Scotland, but yeah. Yeah, I've seen some pictures. Someone posted actually, it was Edinburgh. The thunderstorm from Edinburgh yesterday morning, like early hours. Absolutely stunning. And I slept through most of it. I think I woke up and I could hear it in the distance. But my neighbour was awake. She had woken up and she was like saying, "Yeah, it was absolutely brilliant." I was like, "Okay, I slept through it." But when it woke me up, I think that one went right over us. Yeah, I remember, I was thinking, Abby that's got Crossing Crafts, she lives down in Penzance, and she was saying that they live on the coast, but she was saying that they weren't even getting like a breeze off the water like they normally get. So it was really bad where she was. I was just wondering if it was kind of the same where you were, or if you were sort of getting a breeze, or um, I kind of miss my old house that I was in before I was in this one, and I was right on the I was right on the, well, the house wasn't right on the shore, but the village was right on the coast, and it was beautiful. I loved it. I think if it had been, if I'd still been there, I think I would have been down the beach. Which point we had a choice of two beaches as well, which is, well, there's actually three beaches. One of them wasn't really, nobody really used the other one. Um, but yeah, it was further along the coast as well. Is it? Oh, that'll be nice going down the river. That'll be nice. I think they were saying, I was getting told that the little burn that's near where we are, normally it's quite, I wouldn't say deep, but certainly ankle deep. It's in places it's deeper, you know. But we're getting told that even that's like running really low. But that sounds really nice. Going for a paddle in the river. That sounds in the little river. That sounds perfect. I wish I didn't have a phobia of fish, or I would be off doing that. One, two. One. Keep banging my hand off my lamp. Come on. Where's the... There we go. Oh, I've got some noisy birds. Oscar is getting out into the garden in the nice days. Oscar and Charlie, the windows are open for them, but I know that they don't go any further than the fence. And Oscar managed to ground himself on Wednesday night. He was outside and I could just hear this commotion from outside. Looked at the window. He was harassing the magpie that likes to sit on the fence. To be fair, this magpie sits on the fence and teases him through the window. So I think the magpie was kind of a bit surprised. So this magpie was doing all the the sounds that they make when they're alerting to danger, and it just wasn't gonna stop. And I was like, so I'm like, right, you in. Got him in and got him grounded for the rest of the night. He was not amused. Oh, okay, okay. Have a nice afternoon. Not a nice afternoon. Have a nice day. Hello, is it Inga? Hello, Hamburg. That's like Germany. I'm trying to think. Is that western outside of Germany? Bet you're warm there. Right, I'm getting tangled up in the thread. Oh, come on, get on the needle. There we go. I was not going to be beaten. I made up that by that thread. I was not going to let it beat me. I like seeing people coming from all over to join the stream. Thank you for your company. How many stitches do I manage in a day? It varies. If I manage to get some fairly decent stitchy sessions done and I'm not distracting myself looking at things and checking messages and stuff like that, I can get quite a few done. Average is roughly between 700 to 1,000, 1,200. If it's like a monochrome piece, I can get over 2,000. It really just depends on, on the actual day, and it depends on whether there's confetti or if it's like block stitching. Like on this project, I'm averaging roughly. Let's see, I'm averaging on this one around about maybe between 700 and 900 a day. I mean, yesterday I never got. I think yesterday I got 530 something because I just lost interest in stitching later on in the day. I was just tired and I was getting grumpy, and yeah. I mean, part of the reason that I started doing the live stream is to try and stop myself from doom scrolling, because I was finding I was getting distracted checking messages, and I would go into like Facebook and start doom scrolling, and I was like, yeah, this is not being productive. So yeah, I thought, right, what I'll do is I'll do the live stream, because then I can't use my phone to doom scroll. Eight, nine, this one. No, it's not on that one. It's on that one. Yeah, it varies as well, depending on the project. It can be like so this super size that's colour kitchen shelf. There's a lot, like especially that one, there's a lot of confetti. I struggle to get over 500 stitches done in a day. Now I could be sitting there stitching for 2 hours, and I look at my stitch count, and I'm like, I've done 100 stitches in like 2 hours, and whereas with this one, I can stitch, and I can stitch away for a wee while. And I look at the stitch count, and I was like, I'm quite often pleasantly surprised. I mean, I'm nowhere near Nicola's standards. I mean, she doesn't seem to get slowed down by confetti at all. But this month, man, is just, I don't know what it is. It seems to always be June. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, last year I was blaming it on having done Monogamous May. This year I didn't do Monogamous May. This year I did the focus on a finish, and even that, I think, even my rotation is this year. I'm not even doing my rotation. I was doing last year. My rotation last year was 2 days or 1,000 stitches. Well, this year it's like stitching on what I want when I want, and it just there's projects in there that in my rotation I've not even touched it. I don't know what it is about June, but I just seem to fall. My stitching just seems to be non-existent. Well, not I can't say it's non-existent because I am stitching, but it just seems to be really a lot harder to maintain it. Wait. Maybe it's because it's a half-year hump, I don't know. You know, we're halfway through the year, but this year I've got projects in my rotation I've not even touched. So it's going to be, I'm not going to reach the goals on them. My goal for my projects this year was 12,000 stitches on each project. My idea being every time it comes out for a rotation, it's 1,000 stitches, and there's 12 months in the year, which should mean that I could hit my target, but I'm bringing a project out to go to stitch on, and it's maybe staying on the frame for a week or 2 weeks, which is not how my rotation is supposed to work. So I think what I might be doing, I mean, I've got a new project. I'm hoping to get the fabric. I said I was getting the fabric next week. It depends on the pennies. It might actually be the week after that I get it, because I always forget about one of my direct debits at the start of the month or the end of the month, and you know, I plan to go ahead and buy a fabric or a pattern, and then I can't because I've forgotten about something. So what I'm going to start doing is things like, say, Christmas in July, like things. I'm not going to do that from the first of the month. I'm going to do it from the week after. I think I might start making where my stitchy goals are concerned, making it from the week after the first of the month. My projects to have, oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. 29 or 30. I've got 3 stamped kits and the rest are counted. I don't think I'm going much higher than that because it's getting on mildew at the moment with the amount of projects I've got on the go. So yeah, I don't think I'll be doing many more new ones. I'll be just replacing them as they get finished. The next nearest to finish has got 30,000 stitches still to go on it. So that'll probably be a finish, not this year, maybe next year. I thinking it's one of the ones that I've not actually touched this year. Yeah, like I say, you know, at the end of my videos, it's not the number of stitches you do, because each stitch is progress regardless. You know, and if you only get 200 or 300 stitches a day, it doesn't mean that you're any worse a stitcher than me, because I'm getting, you know, I'm getting so many more. It's, as long as you're enjoying doing it, you're getting, you know, you're getting the benefit of the actual, I would say, the mental health side of it, regardless of how many you do. I mean, I don't work. I'm on a fixed income. I don't work, and so I can sit if I want to. Once I've done my chores, I can sit all day if I wanted to, and you know, and stitch, and that's why I get the totals that I do. I'm trying my needle again, and I think this needle's needing change because I think this eye is twisted. I might change over a new needle after I finish this colour. I think that even if you're only getting a couple of hundred stitches, or even if you're only getting 10 stitches, 2 stitches a day, you're still making progress because you're working on, you're working your way through a project. I had a day, the start of the year, I did 34 stitches. And I was like, I felt so bad because I'd only managed 34 stitches. And I thought to myself, it's 34 stitches that if you hadn't sat down and stitched those 34 stitches, it was, they wouldn't have been done and you would still had them to do. So, yeah, that's how I see it. I'm out of sorts this month. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because it's my birthday month. Maybe I feel old. I celebrate my birthday month by starting a new project. I usually try to start 2 projects in June. Because I celebrate my birthday month and my actual birthday. But this year I started Supersize Max Colour Cosmic Bowling because I'd put it off starting it. I had bought the chart in, I think, 2023. And I kept putting it off and kept putting it off. And, it got to about February. And I was like, right, I'm going to plan out my new starts for the year so that I know what I'm doing. And so I said, right, I'm starting that one. I'm definitely starting that one in June. And then I started the Stamped Stitch Club Curiosity in the Garden, which is the black cat in the garden. I started that in May, I think. And I really liked it. So then I went and bought 2 stamped kits from Paint and Fairy. I did the usual, check them, double, reverse image search and stuff like that. One was the European town, the large European town one, the long one. I think Miha's doing it. A couple of people are doing it, I think. Stitchy Dutch is doing it as well. He's just started it. She started on the left hand side, I started on the right hand side. Just because I started stitching it in hand and it was easier to hold it all in the left, And then when I eventually I thought, right, I'm going to have to put this in a frame because it was really hard to handle. And so I put that into a nudge, and I'm like, yeah. Right, what am I doing here? See, I've got myself on a wee bit, y'all. Right, okay, that needs to marked. Done. That's parked. Like this. Right. So yeah, I think that's why I'm a wee bit out of sorts, because I was really enjoying Curiosity in the Garden, and I was really enjoying the European town, and then I got one. I can't say it in the Chinese name, but it's 2 peonies. It's a yellow one and a purple one. A lot of blends in it. The European town one is covered in backstitch. I'm like, if I'd known there was so much backstitch in it, I wouldn't have got it. But the blends one is really slow going because I'm having to do because there's so many blends in it. I think it's 49 colours or something, and there's like 120 blends. I was like, oh. And I hadn't stitched blends before. I hadn't stitched with blend before. And I was like, you know, this is going to take me forever. But I think that's part of it. But I'm really enjoying stitching it. It's really nice when it's done and the stitches are done and you see the effect of the blended threads, but it's just... And of course the bit I'm in at the moment is confetti hell. I'm like sitting stitching and I'm thinking, I was complaining about the confetti in my big project. Both of them stamped ones are 18 count with 2 strands as well. And I find stitching with 2 strands slows me down. I don't know why. I tend to find that I don't make stitches quite as quickly. It certainly does look nice. But I'm just... Yeah, I don't know. I have to get the Flying Scotsman back out and try and get some more done on that, because my goal for that one is November 2029 and we're 2026 and it's only 60,000 stitches, so it should have been done. I kept putting it off because it was 2 strands on 18 count. Yes, 2 strands of CXC is different from 2 strands of Paint and Fairy thread cotton. But it's just, oh, I'm just struggling with it. So other than those 3, everything else is counted. I have one long dog sampler, which is paintings. I have a monochrome stitch art piece from Etsy. This has got a knot in it. How's that got a knot in it there? Right, what we'll do is we'll trim that, because then I might actually be able to get it on the needle. I do apologise if you can hear music from one of my neighbours outside. They seem to forget that other people live in the street and don't want to listen to their music. But, hey, huh? And if you say anything, you get you're the wrong one. You're all in the bad. You know, you're in the wrong. Let's just put it this way, I no longer have a Spotify subscription because I don't need it. Right, 383 goes away. Apologies to you, those of you who are wearing earphones. That's somebody's burning their breakfast. Burnt their toast. I tell you, they weren't really clever when they did our kitchens. The heat sensor in my kitchen is right above where I stand to open my cooker, open my oven. And the number of times I set that off, especially in the colder weather, because there's a sudden influx of, sudden gust of warm air coming out the oven when I open it, and it goes straight up into the heat sensor, which sets off smoke alarm. I'm like, yeah. They didn't think that through. I mean, I get that there's got to be a heat sensor and it needs to really be close to the cooker so that it can sense where something goes up. like a chip pan or whatever. But did they have to put it right there so that it gets it near enough every time you open the oven? And it's really sensitive. The smoke alarm in the hall was really sensitive as well because it went off. A spray and air freshener. I'm now learning not to spray air freshener quite so high in the air. But a spray air freshener, and it must have thought the particles of air freshener were like smoke particles. So it set off. And I thought, oh god. So it must be really sensitive, that one. And they had to change it because my upstairs neighbour had a burst pipe in our bathroom. You know, it's those sort of gooseneck type pipes that they use for the water coming into the bath and the sink, you know, into the sink and toilet and stuff. And same thing happened to in my bathroom as well. Formed a hole, and yeah, she had that, and it flooded down into my back bedroom and my bathroom, and oh my goodness, it's coming down through the smoke alarm in the hall. Like, I think I've actually got one, two, oh, four smoke alarms because there's one in the kitchen and there's one in the living room, two in the hall. It's only a 2 bedroom flat. It's only got 2 bedrooms in it, and there's four smoke alarms left. For goodness sake, but overkill. I mean, it's not like it's not like I'm not going to hear it. Anyway, you can't hear a thing. Oh, that's fine. I'm always worried because I know that copyright stuff, that YouTube are usually quite strict about it. And sometimes I'm listening to, I'm sitting here, I'm like maybe filming a Stitch with me or whatever, and I have to stop it and restart it because of the music. But if my phone's not picking it up, that's even better. I can just carry on then. In the future, I'll just carry on. I mean, sometimes it just sounds like a noise in the background, and you can't make it out. But sometimes I can hear it, and I can actually, especially if my windows are open right enough. Windows aren't open today. They won't open a tiny crack to let some air in. But the other day, my windows were open wide because, like I said, the cats are getting out in the garden now with the better weather. So I opened the window. Well, talking about the window being open, right? I was, I went out to the bins yesterday and I was speaking to my neighbour, and I had forgotten to shut the inside door. My front door. You've got the front door, and then you've got a wee sort of like mudroom hallway type thing, and then you've got like another door into the flat. And I had forgot to shut that door. Well, Oscar came out because he likes to go and see my neighbour as well. So, he comes. He likes to come over to and get pets and stuff. So he came out, and then I was trying to get him back in the house because I was going to get my dinner. So I was trying to get him back in the house, and instead of running in the door, he jumped up onto the windowsill and was trying to come through a closed window. I'm like, you numpty, you idiot, that's shut. Oh, poor thing. So that was him yesterday. But anyway, yeah, like I said, the windows were open the other day, so I could hear it, and I could hear it a lot clearly. So I had to sort of stop my recording and redo it later on. But and then I scrubbed it anyway because I didn't, for some other reason. I think I'm very self-critical. I don't like to listen to myself back, so I don't edit anything. So if it doesn't work, it doesn't get, if it doesn't work, it doesn't get uploaded. The only thing I listen to is I kind of listen to the first couple of words to make sure that the microphone's picked up my audio okay. But other than that, I don't watch my videos back. I don't edit anything, which is really bad. You know, if I don't get it, then if I don't get it right, it just doesn't go up. I don't like I just don't like the way I sound, because like that doesn't sound like me. I think I sound higher pitched than I actually am. Well, it's getting warm in here. Might have to open the window. I really need to. I've not even filmed a wet parade. I really need to do that. I've been going to do it, and I've been going to do it, and I've been going to do it, and it's never happened. So I really need to try and get myself organised to do that. Three. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Let's trim these ends. Go. I wonder if we're going to have any zeros today. Right, Sue, I was going to say enjoy your work, but hopefully it'll go quickly for you. A pity you working on a Saturday as well. Once I get past this leaf, I've got colour blocks at the bottom, which isn't too bad. Yeah. I used to hate that. I worked in customer services, and my working week when I first started was Friday through to Monday, and it was like 4 10-hour shifts. You know, you get to it was quite a pain in the backside because couldn't do anything. Everyone had their parties Fridays and Saturdays, so couldn't do anything. You know, if I if I was invited to anything, I would have to take a day off or take the next day off because you know I just couldn't. We just couldn't. Um, and then I got switched into another shift, and I was like, I really hated it. I hated it because I got switched to Monday, Friday days, and it was easier for me to get into my work and what have you, and you know it meant I could then have a social life of sorts. Um, I hated it because I didn't. I missed my old team. I'm old team manager, and that was brilliant. Whereas my new team manager was a bit of a cow. Sorry, not sorry. You know, nobody was allowed to be ill. If you went off ill, she frowned on it, and she just really made it quite stressful. And I was, my mental health started taking a toll on my mental health. I mean, the job was pretty stressful as well, without her, adding to it. But she added to it, and it broke me. So my mental health took a hit, and I ended up quitting. And struggled since then to get my mental health under control so that I can actually feel comfortable enough. I've tried to work, and I really struggle. Well, now I've got the mobility issues as well, which you know limits what I can do and where I can go, and it's just I don't want to work from home because I want to have that separation, don't I? Anyway, I'm not gonna moan. There's people that are worse off than me. That's all I can say. Anyway. So Inga, what are you working on? If you're still there. And have you guys noticed as well that we can now send DMs on YouTube? I'm like, what's this all about? Right. You guys even see what I'm working on? I've not moved this. There we go. Oh, that sounds nice. I need to go and have a look in the classical cross stitch. Take it they do sort of like all the sort of like the artwork and classical artwork sort of thing. Is this another one that I need to add to my ever growing list of designers? Ooh, interesting. I need to go and have a look and see if I can find that one. Um, I like peonies. That'll be nice when it sounds nice. It'll be really, yeah. I want to do something. I mean, I want to do something that's long enough to go across the back of my sofa. I think I can just about get there with my supersized Max colour, but I'm wanting something that was a bit longer. And I've seen a couple of designs that I quite like, but they're to get them to fit the space that I need to, that I'm wanting them to fit. I'm going to do a 14 count, and it's like, oh, you know, I don't like stitching on 14 count. I think 16's my limit. I can't go. I can't go any larger, shall we say, than that. I don't like 14 count. I don't like 11 count. I just find that it's too pixelated. Is it? I think it's a kit. So is it really like stiff or? Well, sometimes you when you get a kit, you know you hit the absolute jackpot and you get beautiful fabric, beautiful beautiful threads and things, and then you can pay more for another kit, and you get absolutely appalling materials, and you're like, why did I bother? That sounds like my cup of tea actually. I quite like some of the older stuff, older designs. Not older designs, older artwork. Case in point. Um, right, I have taken this needle off, right? And I don't know where. Right, so that. Where did you go? Should be. No. Yeah, I like my 18 count. I like my 25 count for larger pieces. On 18 count I stitch 1/1 as well, just purely because I stitch with CXC. I mean, I'm doing one on, I've got one on 16 count, which I'm doing 2/1, and I'm actually thinking about restarting it on 25 count because it does look pixelated. Yeah, I think I'll be yeah, it's not. I'm not that keen on it. That goes like that to there. Right. Where did you go? What have I done? Hold on. That was there. Right, that's got myself in a wee bit of a muddle. Hold on. That's new. That's new. Always get myself in a muddle. Right. Yeah. 18 count. I prefer that for like the smaller ones on my full coverage. But if they're larger, I like my 25 count. I like this one. Oh, nope. I did Van Gogh Roses last year in the HAED SAL on the 18 count, and it turned out not too bad, 1/1. But this year I decided to do a similar sized piece. This is a similar size to the last year's one. I think there's 2,000 stitches left in this one. I think last year's one was 88,000, this is 86. I mean, normally I would do something that size on 18 count, but I thought, no, I'm doing it at 25 count because I'm going to run out of wall space at some point. Not that I've got any of my finishes framed yet. I've got ideas of where, I know where I'm putting pieces, and the back bedroom is going to become a stitchy room. At the moment it's a junk room. For everything that all the stuff that's still to get thrown out, and but like boxes that are to get broken up and that are just dumped in there. It's just a dumping ground at the moment. Um, so anything that doesn't fit in one of the other rooms is going to go in there. Kitchen shelf is going in the kitchen, funnily enough. I'm going to put Cosmic Bowling probably in here. But if I do library cats and library dogs, and I do them both the same colour, the same size, I'm going to hang them side by side up in here on one wall, on my long wall. So it's very long term plans. I'm going to, and my long dogs are probably going to get hung in the hall. They're all different colours, but the fabric stays the same. Right, I'm not going to get very many more stitches out of this piece of thread, so that can go there. And then the peonies one is going to go in my bedroom. And then I'm saying apart from my long dog in the hall, apart from Fisherman's Friends and the other ones that are all sort of that themed, they're all getting done in similar colours, sort of teal colours, and then they're getting put into like shadow boxes and put up in the bathroom. It sounds like it's raining. Oh, it's been raining. Anyway, so that's where they're going. I'm going to do one of the picadillos from Long Dog. It's probably going to get done in a hot pink, and that's going in the bedroom. The colours in my bedroom are going, when I get round to getting it done, are going to be grey and sort of like a mid grey and sort of like pink, but it's like a combination. It's like ranging from hot pink to sort of like fuchsia pink, sort of like, you know, that sort of colour. So I'm going to probably do those. Right, hold on, because I've got to do that. No, that one. Helps if you highlight the right symbol, huh? I'm getting there. I'm getting there. And the stitching room's going to probably have just everything that doesn't go anywhere else in there. But like I said, I've only got so much wall space. And it's not like I've got big high ceilings. I don't know, what was it, 8 or 9 foot ceilings I've got? Do I worry about my no, because I don't have a shower, I only have a bath. And I keep the window, it's got this vent in it, and that stays open all year round, but I also, in the summer, I have it like just on, like literally, it's just cracked open. But it's just me in the house, so there's not a lot of people using. So it's not like a household where 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's not like it's a lot of people using the shower. Well, one, I don't have a shower, just have a bath. But if it's sealed properly, it should be okay. Because what I was going to do is put them in like a shadow box, and then go around the seal of the shadow box with like silicone to like seal it. Right, I am going to have to move for a little bit. Right. see if this do not disturb thing works, because I really need to run to the loo. Huh. If that's not working, did that come up with anything? Saying that I'm no, right? Probably not. Right, I am. It's nipping to the toilet. I shall be back as soon as possible. Oh, have I got a cat under my feet? No. I don't know. I'm knocking stuff down. Were you waiting patiently? Would you? Oh dear. No. Sorry about that. I got met at the door as well. I had a little black and white thing waiting for me at the door. Let's get myself organised. Right. I looked at the thermostat as I went past, and the inside temperature is 22 degrees. Oh, yeah, it's warm in here. Doesn't feel that warm, but according to my wee thermostat, it is. Anyway, there we go. Sorry about that. Is that going to stay put? If I... Right. There we go. Is that better? Sorry about the camera quake. Oh, tell you. Anyway, I need to redo my thimble tape. Charlotte, I've got your hair stuck to my finger. Yeah, Charlie met me at the door. He normally comes in the bathroom with me. But of course, he wasn't quick enough. Usually, before I got my carpets in, he used to stick his paw under the under the bathroom door. Yeah, you could see his paw under the bathroom door, and he would stick it under. Oh, boys. I'm thinking about it. I've been meaning to do it, and I've never got around to doing it. Like I said, I don't edit anything, so I have to try and film it as all in one. So it can actually take me more than one day to film to get it done before I can actually get it all get a run through that I'm happy with. I've got I've got around about 30 projects, so I really need to sort of like have a way of logging them. I really should do actually, but then I've got the problem of me being in front of the camera, and my confidence at the moment is at the bottom. I know my confidence is in my boots just now. I don't mind doing Stitch with Maze because you don't see my face, you don't see me, you just hear me. And even then, sometimes I'm like, yeah, I really need to start and do my updates again. It was nice to have that routine. I can't get this through. I think this needle is twisted. I think that's the problem, that this needle's twisted. Was it my dad used to say, a poor workman learns their tools? Yeah, I think I might have to just bite the bullet and do it. If I could figure out how to do it so it was you were just seeing my hands when I was filming, I would possibly do it that way. But then it's getting the camera zoomed out, like to a position where it's zoomed out enough that you can actually see the full project. When it's a big one, it's and I can't stand for any extended periods of time, so I can't stand at the table and do it. So I don't know. But I will have to do it because, like I say, I've got around about 30 projects, and there's some that I've just not even, they're just not. I've not even touched them this year. It's like it's so stupid. You've got all these projects and they go and you're wanting to start new ones. See, Inga, that's what I try and do. I try to pick projects that not everyone else is working on. Or if it is something that other people have worked on, maybe they've worked on it and they've finished it and there's maybe a couple of years gone by. Because I know myself, if I keep seeing the same projects over and over again, I get bored, and then I don't want to stitch those projects. And ultimately then the designers are losing out. So I have got, like I said, I'm starting a new one for Christmas in July. I'm doing supersized teddy bear tree. by Donna Gelsinger. That's another one that I bought back in 2023 and I kept putting it off. So I've decided that I will be starting that in June at some point. Oh, you twat. What have I done? Nope, wait a minute. Oh no, that's fine. It's me. My brain's one step ahead of my hands. I'm thinking I've not done those colours. So yeah. I tried, like I said, I try to do things that no one else is doing, or designers. If it's designers, it's maybe artists that nobody else is really looking at. And if it's artists, then if it's a popular artist, I would be looking for more obscure designs. I've got an Amy Stewart in the wings that nobody else is stitching, as far as I can see. So that's something that I was looking to start maybe sometime this year. Unfortunately, all my Amy Stewart charts are super sized, so they're huge. So I can't start them like one after the other like I would do maybe some of the smaller ones. I mean, I said coming into this year I wasn't going to start any more than say 6 charts, 6 projects. I think I'm up to 8 or 9. So yeah, that one went out the window. But I have had 2 finishes this year, so that's good. Yeah. So technically, I have only started 6 new projects because I finished 2. But I still, I mean, it's only June, and I've got one. Like I say, I've got one more Amy Stewart sort of in the wings. I have a Trust Stitch Studio one that I want to start in September. For Sunflower September. Oh, twat! You twat! Oh, you absolute idiot! That's not where it goes, and you'll need to get this knot out. So yeah, and I have one more Malcolm Watson. So I'll have 2 of his. It'll be starting in November. I have a Tilton Crafts one that I want to start in November. Not November, October. And I don't really have any others that I've planned, I don't think. And stupidly, of course, I didn't write them down. I didn't write the list down. What I really need to do is to sit and go through all my patterns that I've got and put them in order so that I know the order they're going to start in. No, I just went and undid that. Oh, numpty. You absolute numpty. Right, come on. Brain, engage, please. Right. Now, I don't want this. Really? Are we going to be... Hold, please. Normal service shall resume in a moment. There we go. I think it's because I unpicked it that many times. It's starting to... The thread's starting to go a bit funny. Anyway, I think, like I said, I've got one Amy Stewart that I've not seen anyone else stitching, so that's gonna be fun. I've got to decide whether I'm doing the cat library. I've not bought the chart yet for it, but I'm trying to decide between doing the supersized max colour of the full chart or get the 2 panels and do the 2 panels. But I have got supersized max colour of the Library of Dogs, So I'm now trying to decide whether, like I say, whether I do the regular supersized max colour of the full chart of the cats or get the panels. And then I'll have to decide whether I'm wanting to just stitch the chart that I have of the dogs one, or whether repurchase the two panels so that it's the same as the cats. Bearing in mind I only have so much wall space. So that's what I'm deciding, because now that I've seen a couple of people stitching on the cats with the detail on the cats, the detail on the two panels is absolutely amazing. And I'm like, oh, I want to do, because I like my full coverage projects to have as much detail as I can. That's why they tend to be the supersized max colour version. Because they get the better, in my opinion, it's better detail. The colour, the blending of the colours is better, But so what do? Do I buy the two panels of the cats and just stick with the same size, the smaller one of the dog? Do I get the small one, the full chart of the cat, so that it's the same as the one I've got, or do I get the big the left and right panels of both? I don't know. I'm worried that I get the full chart of them, the one of the full chart, and then once I get into the animals on it, I'm not going to like it. Before it was just the supersized max colour was the biggest chance, was the biggest I could go, and that was going to be the best I could get. So I don't know, and I've still not bought myself my chart for my birthday because Jules did it again with long dog samplers. And I already have a big one on the go, so I can't do another. I can't have two big long dog samplers. I like to have a big one and a small one. So I don't know what I'm doing at the moment. I might switch over to my long dog later, actually. I think I might switch over to it this evening. See how far I get with this. I think I'll give myself a wee target. See what I'm on. I'm 173 stitches. If I get to 500 stitches, I'll switch projects, I think. Yeah, that's what I'll do. If I get to 500 stitches on this today, I'll switch to my long dog sampler for the rest of the day. So if I get to 500 stitches today, yeah. This is catching, that's annoying. Right. So I think what other new starts I've got planned for the year. I know I've got one planned for the 3rd of January. And you say to yourself, why the 3rd of January, Kay? Well, 3rd of January is J.R.R. Tolkien's birthday. And I missed it last year, but I had the chart bought, but I had missed it. And I have a chart from Tilton Crafts. It was I think it was a limited edition. And it was a piece of artwork. It was, I can't remember the name of the artist, but it was Bilbo meets Gandalf, or Gandalf meets Bilbo, one of the two. It was one of these round. And it was just at the start of The Hobbit. And I was like, I got the chart because I liked the artwork. It was I liked the way it was done. It was really, really nice. I don't normally go for sort of like that type of artwork, but I really liked this one. I thought, right, I'm getting that. And then I actually realised on the day of his birthday that it was his birthday. I thought, if I had the fabric, I would start it today. So I decided I'm going to make sure I have the fabric for next year. So I'm going to start that on his birthday next year. So that'll be potentially a new start 1st of January, and then on the 3rd of January as well. And then, so I'm saying potentially the 1st of January. It depends whether HAED to do another SAL, what the charts are, if there's anything that I like in it. If there's nothing that I like in it, I'm not going to bother. I said that this year, and I spotted this, and then they dangled the carrot on, and I was like, is this still life? But it's really nice. And I'm like, do I really want to tie myself down for another 10, potentially, 12 months, 10, 12 months? Put myself under the stress of having a deadline. Do I really want to do that? I was umming and on about it, and then they announced that the Amy Stewart chart was going to be, an exclusive. I was like, okay. I was kind of, And then they sort of doing teasers, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to do it. Even if I only do one page, I'm getting an exclusive Amy Stewart chart out of it. And then I sort of looked at the charts that I had sort of glanced at the charts that were being offered. I kind of looked at the charts that were being offered as a reward charts. Sort of glanced at them and think, they're all right, they're okay. And then I had another look at them after I had decided that I was going to do this, and I thought, you know what, I can do it. I can do the full chart in the 12 months. I've done it before. I can do it again. So I decided that I'm going to do it. So the target for this was 10% per month for 10 months. So I could get it done and dusted for October and get it out of the way. I think I finished last year on the 1st of November. So this year I'm aiming for, that's my goal. I can't get this needle threaded. Let's see if I can change needles. See if this makes a difference. Here we go. Half the time I think it's psychological when you change needles and you get it to thread the first time. You're like, yay! You've not done anything different other than change the needle. Yeah, so I'm starting next month, as I said. So Precise Matt's colour, Teddy Bear Tree by Donna Gelsinger. I have another Donna Gelsinger on the go, which is one of the reward charts from last year's SAL, which is Hummingbirds in Spring. It's a quick stitch, which was retired. I'm really enjoying that actually. I like colours. I like stitching with the colours that's in it. It's I think that's 18 count 1/1 I'm stitching that with. I like that one. I've got an Elizabeth Welker from HAED on the go as well, so I really like that. And I've got a couple that of hers that I've got my eye on. I'm doing it's Pa and Nana what I'm doing. I'm just doing the regular one though, of that. It was one of those few times when Michelle released a chart, and as soon as I seen it, saw it, I was like, nah, I'm going to stitch that. And I bought it and got the fabric. More or less ordered the fabric the same day. Doesn't happen very often that happens. I find quite often she'll release a chart that I like, and I buy the chart. I don't have the fabric, and I've got to order the fabric. And then I go to order the fabric, and I've not got enough pennies in the bank. That one's. You're right. Okay, how am I doing? This leaf is going to be the bane of my. It's a bane of my existence. So it is. Looking at it, you wouldn't think there's so much confetti in a leaf, but why I like this artist's work so much, I guess. What drew me to it. Yeah, so I've got to kind of wait and hold off getting the fabric, and then by the time I get the fabric, I'm like, do I really like it that much? So that's why I now wait until I decide that I'm actually going to start to stitch something. Oh no, wait a minute. Other side. 2, 3, 4 down. 2, 3, 4 down. So I decide that I'm going to stitch it. Then I buy the fabric. So that I'm not wasting. Because then I've got to if I decide I'm not going to stitch it for whatever reason, I've had another look at the chart and it's not as nice as I thought or something, then I can at least repurpose the fabric for something else and try and get something the same sort of size. and I'm not doing as many impulse starts if I've come to stop and think about the fabric and buy the fabric. And it's so annoying actually when I want to do a start and none of the patterns I want to start fit the fabric I've got. That is another thing that I find annoying. But that's what I get for being, you know, for making myself stop and oh wait a minute, what's that one? That one, what colour's that one supposed to be? Oh you twit, where's that gone? Oh no, I'm not. Ugh. Right, we'll try and actually get the right colour on the needle this time, which helps. 7:30. Yeah, like we're saying, you're saying about me doing different things. It's purely selfish reasons because so many other people, you know, you get this chart. I mean, I could love the chart. I could absolutely love the chart. But if more than 2 or 3 people are stitching it, it kind of puts me off. Because I think, well, if I'm stitching it, I'm going to be looking at it an awful lot. And then when I'm watching YouTube, if I'm watching floss tubes, and there's lots of people stitching it, I'm going to be looking at it when they're stitching it, and it's just going to get, I'm going to get bored of it. That's one of the reasons that I try and stitch things that not many other people are stitching. Like, I think of an example of that. One of the ones that were, oh, the travelling library. Everyone was stitching that, you know, basically everyone was jumping on and stitching that. And I like the chart, and I have the chart in my wish list, but I never actually bought it. What I will do is I'll probably buy it and keep it, and what I'll do is maybe in a couple of years, once, you know, I'll start it then. Just because so many people are stitching on it, and we all tend to start. Oh, I've noticed that we all tend to start sort of top left. Very few of them, few people are sort of starting top right or bottom left, and it's the same view all the time. Not taking anything away from that. Two. Missed stitches. Hold on till I figure out where I'm going wrong. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So what happens when I get distracted from what I'm actually stitching on? So what colour is that one? Okay. This is what happens when you mark stitches off before you stitched them, because you're numpty. Right. Yeah, so what I'm trying to say, just because I don't stitch on the charts that majority of other useless tubers stitch on, doesn't mean I don't like them. It's just I know myself that I would get bored and they would get put to the side and they would get worked on. Kind of like the ones that I've not worked on this year. I wouldn't say I've got bored of them. It's just I've noticed it tends to be the ones that I've worked on for the longest. Do apologise for them. Instead of shouting down the street, why not walk down and speak to the person normally? Get some of your steps in. I'm sorry, the older I'm getting, the less patient I get with people. It's ridiculous. I shouldn't be like that. Nope, next block. Right, I'm going to be quiet for a bit because I'm getting myself in a cuddle, and those that don't know Scottish vernacular, guddle is muddle. I try not to use Scots when I'm filming, but sometimes they slip out. I was watching actually. I've watched a couple of reels of the Tartan Army in America for the World Cup. The Tartan Army is the Scottish diehard core Scottish fans who go to all the tournaments abroad and in the UK obviously. And they look like they were having fun. You know, I think they sort of make friends. Us Scots, we tend to make friends wherever we go. Don't take ourselves too seriously as a nation, I don't think. I mean, any country that has a mythical beast like a unicorn as their national animal cannot be taking themselves too seriously. But it was nice to see. I mean, to see them having fun with the Americans. I mean, and the other nations as well. I'm feeling also it looked like the Norwegians were having fun with their Viking rowing thing. That looked like fun. And some of the comments that I'd seen about that were quite funny. One some person said, yeah, they found the stadium 10 kilometres to the north or something. I was like, I find that quite funny. So I don't follow football, but I like to see the fans having a good time when they go away. I don't like it if there's been bother anywhere. You know, it reflects badly on the nation as a whole when that happens. But it's good to see them all having fun. I think all the nations have had, all their fans have had a good time. I think I don't think the Americans quite knew what hit them when with the Tartan Army in Boston, and the Norwegians and things in New York. I don't think they quite knew what hit them, but it was taken. I think it was all taken in the yeah. It was all taken in good taste, wasn't it? It's good to see them. Good to see them having fun. I think the only time I've ever really watched football has been Scotland games, and only because someone else was sitting watching them. I wouldn't go out my way to watch it. Wrong shape of ball. I'm sorry, the wrong shape of ball to play rugby. I would go out my way to watch a rugby match. But I always forget when they're on. I know that the Six Nations, a couple of times I've been, oh, the rugby will be on, and switched on, and it's just finished, and I'm like, oops. 3781, where are you hiding? You are in there. Yeah, you say to yourself, well, I'll watch, that's on today, I'll watch that, and you look at the clock, you think, oops, missed it. Kind of the same with tennis, actually. It's hit or miss whether I watch any of it. I tend to watch it sort of like later on, sort of the highlights now, so. Tennis and rugby are the two that I like watching, two sports I enjoy watching. Don't really have a winter sport. I used to like watching the downhill skiing and the slalom and stuff like that, but none of that is really. I've not really been into that so much lately. Figure skating is another one that I like watching now and again. And ice hockey. I like the ice hockey. It's be a good match though. It's to be. If it's a good match, I can really get into it. Other than that, I don't really watch sport. I'm not a big sports fan. Like I say, I used to watch more when I was younger, but like now it's just. I think if anything, I'd probably listen to the commentary on the radio more than I would watch it, because sometimes I think if you're stitching, if you're watching something like that, you keep stopping and watching parts of it, and you don't get as much done. Whereas if you're listening to it, I've noticed I've been listening to audiobooks quite a bit lately as well, instead of watching like post tubes and that, because like I say, you see something on there and you stop stitching, you sit and watch it, and then you realise like half an hour's gone, you've not done a stitch, and you're like, oops. You don't either. See, I think it's like when you're younger and you think, yeah, you could possibly play some of them. Well, I used to do 10-pin bowling, and I used to do fencing. And now, I think I've watched the fencing in the Olympics once, and that was only because I knew the British ones that were competing. I had met them on, on the circuit sort of thing. Or they were Scottish, there was a Scottish guy that was competing. I have got myself into a knot, and I don't know what's going on here. I'm going to end the stream now. I'm going to phone this person back